Today we have some speakers that are coming or talking to us about reading. So I'm going to start by saying that 47% of students in Mexico score below the lowest level of reading proficiency. That's 47% losing critical literacy that limits opportunity and perpetuates poverty. Reading isn't just a skill. It is a great way to empowerment and an opportunity to become critical thinkers and engaged citizens. Extensive research confirms that avid readers excel academically and achieve greater success in life. Our presenters today, Jeffrey Drayton and Dr. Anna Laura, promotes literacy through fun. This program has been proven to dramatically increase children's engagement with reading, and it is highly scalable, making it accessible to schools of all sizes. It offers transformative bilingual programs designed to foster a lifelong love of reading. Amazingly, it offers affordable access to more than 10,000 books in English and Spanish, empowering children to choose what they read to spark the joy of learning. It's proven to boost daily reading habits. For 23%, they continue reading after the program, becoming prepared to thrive academically. So please help me welcome to the podium Jeffrey and Dr. Anna Laura.
Okay. Thank you. And Andrea, the term is voluntold. That's it. So having had experienced that many times in my life. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. Appreciate you taking the time to hear about what is really a crisis in reading, in literacy. As a matter of fact, in the United States, the NAEP scores, which is the National Assessment for Education in the United States, reading scores fell by another 2 points. So only 31% of children in the fourth grade in the United States can read at grade level. That means 69% cannot. 70% of the people in prison cannot read at a fourth grade level. Okay, so it is an absolutely urgent crisis. Now, AI is all the rave. Everybody said AI is going to fix everything. Unfortunately, if you can't read, AI is not going to do you any good at all. As a matter of fact, the person who can read and can use AI will take your job. So it is absolutely crucial in this moment that we try to lift everyone up. And as Joe said, the program that we have, the Great Reading Tournament, scales. Okay, we at this point have had more than 75,000 children across the world participate. And let's see if we can, yeah, so I can get closer to it. There we go. And yeah, perfect. And now I can control this, right? Up that way. Forgot. There we go. So, in the United States, more than 10 million children of Hispanic descent cannot read at grade level. Only 30%, as I just said, the NAEP scores just came out and it fell another 2 points. But 100% of the children out there have the opportunity. Talent and ability is equal across the world. Opportunity is not. And a little later, Anna Laura will tell you about how the fact is that the kids in the schools here, they don't have any books. As a matter of fact, we invited them to come up here and do a day in the library. We couldn't get them to come up, the whole school. Sorry, we go this way. There we go. So we operate a platform that allows children to read in both Spanish and in English. We have more than 10,000 books that go from the earliest pre-K all the way up to high school, so that the children can spend as much time as reading as they want. Our goal during the reading tournaments is that they read 20 minutes a day. And again, as Joe mentioned, after the tournaments are over, which run on an average of about 3 weeks, okay, almost 25%, 23% continue reading, which is a direct measure of impact. So we want them to understand that they can read for pleasure, and all of the statistics globally, the UK just did a big, huge study. The amount of children that are reading for pleasure has fallen by over 40%. Only about 25% of the children in the UK read at grade, read for pleasure. The same is true here. And in case here, they don't have any books. That makes it even more difficult. Incorporated into our reading program is something called the Great People Manual. We've written proprietary content around 36 values. I believe the golden rule was mentioned this morning. That's one of the values and virtues that we have written content for that children can read in K2, 3, 5, 6, 8. We write it at 3 different levels. We have 36 values in all, from empathy, kindness, gratitude, thankfulness, perseverance, etc. And the children have the ability. We put those books into the tournament, and they've been read more than 6,000 times. Again, Anna Laura will talk to you about values and virtues in the schools that she's worked in. Let's see. That working? There we go. So just a quick cost analysis, benefit analysis. Again, they have no books. It's plain and simple. So every time we can give them access, and we do 3 times a year, we have 3 tournaments. What we really want to do is give them access all year long, so that they have the books from September 1 when school starts to July 31st when they get out of school. We'll give them a month off, vacation. Hopefully, at that point, they're still reading on their own and they want to read more. And maybe they'll even become members of the Biblioteca and drag their parents up here and learn about all the beautiful, the 57,000 volumes of books that exist here in the library. But it breaks down pretty simple. Most of the cost, 50% of the cost for a student, for us, for your investment in a student, is the platform itself and just maintaining it and keeping the books and making sure everything's working. We incentivize them with prizes. So these children win prizes, laptops, and Laura can attest. I've presented laptops on more than one occasion to her students. They win trips to amusement park. Very small school in Tlaxcala won a trip to Six Flags. Another one in Morelos won a trip to the new amusement park, Atlan, in Mexico City. And they get pretty excited about that. We've had more than 12,000 kids from Mexico in the last tournament, from 29 different states. So it's across the board. The only 2 states I think are Oaxaca and Guerrero. So, that didn't show up very well, did it? Doesn't like that at all. Let's see what happens if we go back up. I don't know that we can. Yeah, you can't really see that. What we're looking at is that it costs us $2 a month, $24 a year. We can give the children access to all the books, as well as the Great People Manual, which is the 36 virtues and values. Each one of the virtues and values, written at 3 different levels. If we could read this, you could see that. They're written at 3 different levels. So the child in kindergarten is reading about respect, meaning maybe keep your hands to yourself. In 6th grade, they're reading about respect, which is probably still keep your hands to yourself. But it's okay to listen to other people, or maybe other people look a little different than you do, and that's okay too. Another example is honor, and I'll show a video of it. We have videos for every single value, but honor, principles, integrity. So as you get older, the values, the stories become more sophisticated. What is honor? And not Falstaff's description of it, but what is honor in terms of what does it mean to you? What are your principles that you live by? And the integrity, which is to combine the 2 together. So that's all included in the $2 a month. This one, I think. So these are our total numbers that we've had since we started the tournament here. I personally moved to San Miguel 3 years ago. I've spent 18 years working in public education in Latin America, from Baja California to Patagonia. But in 2022, I chose to move here and say, okay, that's enough moving around. I'm going to stay here. And we started working together 6 years ago on another project. But immediately we brought the reading tournament to Leobino Zavala, where Dr. Hernandez is the sub-director. You can see the total number of minutes. More than 5 million minutes have been read by the students. More than 200,000 books. So The tournament has direct impact. The worst thing we can do is after the tournament is over, take the books away from them. Hi, here's lunch, but you can't have dinner, right? And we do that a lot. We've been the project, oh, it's a great project, and then we have no money. Here, we can have an impact for an entire year. We can measure it. We know exactly how many minutes every child reads, how many books they read. We even know their comprehension because there are questions throughout the books. So we can say, okay, Andrea's reading at a very high level. Oh, Joe might need a little help, or maybe he's reading too fast. But there are a lot of ways we can measure and see what's going on, which is data that the teachers don't have right now. So, with every investment in every child, we can actually measure the return on that investment. How many books they read, how many minutes they read, how much they understood. Okay. So again, we talked about the 23%. I think we're back to the beginning again. Oh, there we go. We were global, and then we're back to the beginning. If you want to show quickly, Diego, the video, and then Dr. Hernandez will say a little bit about what it's like to actually work in these schools. How many of you have ever been in a public school in Mexico? Wow. Congratulations. I'm impressed. That's a really good thing. So.
How do you make a choice? Do you think about what you want? Do you consider what might happen depending on what you do? Honor is choosing to do what's right. It's thinking about how your actions affect others. It's about doing the right thing out loud where people can see it. Honor could be helping someone who's having challenges or not taking credit for something you didn't do. Honor can even mean apologizing when you mess up. That's acting honorably. Honor requires respecting others and yourself. Honor also means following your internal guide. These are your principles, the rules you believe in. Principles come from the inside. They may be what you've been taught. They're in your heart as the right thing to do. Maybe your principle is, I don't lie, or follow the golden rule, or I always try my best. Following your principles means standing up for what you believe in, even if it's tough. It doesn't matter if no one is watching. If you do the right thing anyhow, you demonstrate integrity. Integrity is the glue that holds your honor and principles together. It's choosing what's right, even when it's hard, even when no one will give you credit. Having integrity means upholding your principles even if there's an easier, less honorable way out, and no one will know that you took it. Always remember, honor is how you act on the outside, principles are your rules on the inside, and integrity is when the inside and outside match, no matter what.
So we combined the Great Reading Tournament together with the Great People Manual. Every one of the values is written at 3 levels in both Spanish and in English. There are teacher guides, there are parent guides, because we would love the parents to talk to their children and how to get started. How do we want to talk? What happened at school today? Yeah. What'd you do? Same. No. Why don't we talk about it? I heard you read a book about empathy. What is empathy? What is honor? What is principle? What is integrity? So all of that is combined into the Great Reading Tournament. And at this point, I'm going to actually introduce you to Ana Laura Hernandez, who has been there and works every single day with literally thousands of children. Ana.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
I don't speak English. I'm sorry. En enero 2026 voy a cumplir 20 años de ser docente a nivel secundaria y bachillerato.
In January 2026, I'm going to achieve 20 years as a teacher and principal.
Sí. Siempre, gracias. Gracias. Para Guanajuato, el interés superior es la niñez. Para mí también. porque yo soy quien siembro en ellos una semilla de mostaza. Quiero que ellos salgan preparados siempre y para mí es un gran interés que ellos tengan muchas oportunidades.
To me, for the state of Guanajuato, the supreme interest is the childhood, and also to me because I'm the person who plant this little mustard seed that grows and will grow in their hearts.
Y a Jeff lo conozco desde el 2018 y hemos desarrollado varios proyectos en los que mis alumnos han sido beneficiados.
I know Jeff since 2018, and we've been working together to develop different projects where my students has been working.
También quiero decirles que tengo muchos amigos extranjeros que también ayudan con mochilas, con útiles escolares para los niños más necesitados.
Also, I want to share with you that I have so many expats friends that also help with kids that cannot afford scholar utensils, backpacks, and stuff. So I really appreciate that.
Bien, hablando del proyecto de lectura, yo estoy, bueno, primero agradecida con ustedes. Es una sorpresa grande para mí estar hoy aquí. No pensé que iba a estar aquí, yo pensé que era solo otra persona, pero estoy muy agradecida de ver todas las ayudas que dan para nuestro San Miguel de Allende. Muchas gracias.
I'm surprised because this conversation I thought will be just with another person, and seeing you, everybody here, has been a very cool surprise. And I didn't expect, and seeing all the help you do in our town in San Miguel de Allende, I'm very grateful for that, and I want to share that it's a really nice surprise now people is interested.
Gracias. Thank you. Bueno, el proyecto de lectura ha impactado mucho en los alumnos, ya que no tenemos una biblioteca física donde haya libros. Y al implementar este proyecto de lectura, en la materia de tecnología, donde tenemos el recurso de las computadoras, los niños leen. Al principio fue muy difícil porque no tienen los hábitos de lectura.
This reading project has been very important, especially because en escuelas donde no tiene biblioteca? In the schools, we don't have a library. So together the combination between technology class and reading, we're being able to achieve that the kids read and get involved with literacy.
Fue muy difícil 2 semanas y a la tercera comenzaron a leer con agrado y también aparte de la lectura empezaron a comprender. Para Guanajuato y para todo México, la lectura es un gran reto de cada ciclo escolar. Todos los años tenemos que pensar en una estrategia para que los alumnos vean que la lectura es fundamental y la comprensión también, porque esto es un problema a nivel nacional.
The first 2 weeks was a big problem to make them read and feel comfortable with the reading the computers, but the third week we realized that they were reading more and they would still start understanding what they were reading. Because in Mexico in general, we have this issue that a lot of people is not very big fan of reading, and it's something that we need to make them understand the importance of the reading and understanding what they're reading.
Otro problema a nivel nacional es el pensamiento lógico matemático, las matemáticas. Otro también que estamos identificando y estamos implementando estrategias en las escuelas es acerca de los valores, que se practiquen los valores, porque hoy por hoy en las familias falta eso. Yo como docente a veces pienso que en las familias ya no educan, solamente les dejan los dispositivos o los juegos y ya no se enfocan en educar en valores, y este proyecto de lectura trae un espacio que les habla a los niños, o bueno, les muestra libros que les habla de lectura y ellos logran comprender los valores como el respeto, la empatía, el tratar al otro como te gustaría que a ti te trataran, la regla de oro.
Sí. I'm trying to memorize everything. Estoy tratando de acordarse todo. Well, one of the challenges that she has been seeing with all the kids is also the math logical problems, basically mathematics in kids. They've been struggling. And the other thing that she sees and identifies as an issue is the values. A lot of parents, we don't take care, or we just drop the technology thing, the phone or the computer, just don't take care or grow with them in this value system. And she has been founding the golden rule, and setting those values are important to grow in nationwide. One of the things is for her has been important that these readings are heavily linked with values. They know that will be benefit everybody around. It's not something just to fulfill or to give them some material to the kids.
Es un problema que tenemos que trabajar y en la plataforma lo tiene. Tiene lectura, tiene comprensión lectora, tiene libros de matemáticas y tiene libros acerca de la regla de oro que...
Well, one of the important things in this platform, we have a little bit of everything, and the kids can feel free to choose. They have math, they have reading and comprehension, they have these math books that they can fill, and also they have the golden rule that it's important for the kids, and the system of values that can maybe have the seed for the kids to understand and being empathic.
Y bueno, la necesidad de tener una biblioteca en la escuela, la necesidad de que el alumno en casa pueda, porque tenemos alumnos que no tienen un celular o internet en casa, tenemos alumnos con escasos recursos, sin embargo en la escuela procuramos que él lea.
In the school, we have some kids that, due to their circumstances, they cannot afford to have a computer or cell phone, so we can have it at the school, so they can read there. But the challenge that we have, that we also cover with the program, is the fact that we don't have a library in the school.
Sin embargo, es importante la motivación hacia los alumnos. Es importante, lamentablemente, por una parte, que para que ellos lean necesitan una motivación, regalos, y funciona, ha funcionado. En la última escuela que, bueno, hace 2 meses me fui de subdirectora a la Porvenir, casi 1000 alumnos, y entusiasmados empezaron a leer porque el regalo era 2 laptops. Las caras de los niños eran, wow, y se quedaron motivados y están esperando otro reto para poder concursar. Ellos lo ven como un concurso, pero en realidad no saben que se están haciendo un favor, que es la lectura. La lectura nos abre muchas puertas.
Months ago, she was the vice principal in another school called Porvenir, which is far, far away from here. And it's not in the municipality, it's in another municipality. And the kids realized that it's a great motivation, the contest. For them, the important was getting the prize. But what they don't realize is all the knowledge and what they're learning is stay with themselves, and they can keep it to treasure. And one of the things that works in this program is that they have the feeling that they're achieving or they're accomplishing or winning prizes, and sometimes what they're looking or what they're needing is there is a word I forgot, it's important in this translation. The motivation.
No.
The motivation, because when the kids start learning and they realize that it's important for them, they can feel with the motivation to keep going. And sometimes the starter motivation could be the prize or winning or just achieving. When they realize that it's for their benefit, they can keep reading or using this program.
Quisiera, si ustedes tuvieran alguna pregunta, yo poder responderla. Para mí su apoyo es muy importante porque para mí no es para los alumnos, bueno, niños de San Miguel de Allende que necesitan tener la cultura de la lectura, ¿verdad? Para crecer y seguir, continuar, porque tristemente terminan la secundaria y la preparatoria ya no, por falta de comprensión lectora, por falta de estudios.
For her, it's important and it's very thankful that you're putting attention to this presentation because it's important to promote the culture of reading. It's important that kids know and learn how this can open doors and make them thrive. And it's for the kids, it's not for her or for the people that's in the program. It's more to live in some to the kids and the kids in San Miguel de Allende. So if you have a question, she will love to respond to any of your questions.
Please.
Just please, I need to take the microphone because we have people on Zoom. They need to listen.
What my question is going to be yet, but I'll try to make a question. I'm so impressed with your translation. Wow, on the spot, man, really good.
Mm.
Gracias por venir. Y la pregunta. Pues vengo de otra cultura, una cultura americana con con padres educados de la universidad y había libros y todo en la casa. Pues por la cultura he leído mucho y la motivación para mí era, how do you say comics? ¿Cómicos?
Sí.
Like the comics? Just reading, Bugs Bunny or something like that. So, soy artista. No es una pregunta, es quizás una posibilidad que los niños pueden leer cómics y dibujar cosas y escribir unas, no, like tiras de cómicas, ¿no? Like tiras. Anyway, they can make some comics.
Entiendo.
That would be cool.
Sí. En la plataforma que está aquí hay un apartado en donde los niños pueden redactar, inclusive con la inteligencia artificial, hacen cómics y lo pueden arrojar o crear sus propios libros, revistas, textos.
The platform allowed the kids to have a separate part where the kids can use either AI or their own writing to make comics, write their own text or their own analysis, and keep it in case they want to write like a magazine or a comic. It's allowed for the program.
They hear me over here. So, Anna Laura, thank you very much. I will tell one story about values and virtues. When I was visiting one of the schools where Anna Laura is the subdirector, she's a very serious subdirector. You pay attention. After I spoke to the class, I walked out and she said, 1 minute. Walked back into the classroom and said, when a foreigner walks into the classroom, you stand up, okay? You do not talk when he is talking, and you ask questions when he asks you if you had any questions. And then she walked back, and all those kids are sitting there like this. That, and it's a very good point. The prizes, the motivation is an extrinsic motivation. And then what happens is they realize that they enjoy to read. It's an intrinsic motivation. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Are you a registered NGO in town?
We are not a registered NGO in town. We have a 501c3 in the United States to support the Great Reading Tournament because we are in 33 countries around the world. And we do partner, we have a partner, we hope, in Centro Infantil, who is a registered, and we can support the almost 1,000 students in Leovino Zavala, as well as more than 160 in Centro Infantil.
I was going to recommend you go to 100 Women Who Care, but you have to be a registered NGO to apply.
So we'll partner with Centro Infantil for something like that.
I'm wondering how much more impact you could have if you help the parents become better readers.
Well, there is nothing to stop anybody from using the platform. The tournament is actually open and free to all participants. We restricted the prizes to 6 to 14 years old. Obviously, 17, 18-year-olds would have an advantage, over, say, a 7-year-old. But there's no reason we can't expand it. Our niche has been, early childhood learning, because if you don't read by the time you're in fourth grade, you're in big trouble.
And beyond the challenge of enough books, which you're clearly working on, my experience is that every kid's got a cell phone and they could read books on their cell phone as a part of your program, maybe.
No, they do. 70% of the children read on their cell phone. When I was living in Guanajuato, the city of Guanajuato, during the pandemic, I actually started a book club because all the schools were closed. I had a book club that met every Saturday. I had 9 children. All of them read on their cell phones. So absolutely, the platform is adaptable to any tablet, cell phone, computer, etc. And everything is measurable in terms of. Oh, another question.
In the United States, we have states with lower reading versus states that have higher reading literacy. Is it similar to Mexico states?
Well, certainly in the urban areas, there's a great advantage in Mexico because they have access to the internet. Once you get outside of the major urban areas, yeah, and then of course the scores. Mexico's interesting how it measures scores. No, it does differ. I've worked with the Sindicato. I've worked with Secretary of Educación Pública. For the most part, they do not assess reading levels. The International Reading Assessment, called PISA, the Program for International Student Assessment, is done every 3 years. Again, that's where you can see that more than 50% of children in Mexico cannot read at the lowest level of proficiency. Yes?
Thanks. Do you know if there are programs in Mexico where the parents, somebody's raised the issue of the parents, are taught to read to their children, or at least taught to read themselves, and then to their children? I have a friend who's an education specialist, has her doctorate, and the key for her is early childhood reading from the womb on.
Correct. I mean, a couple things. Yes, you're 100% correct. I'd love to meet your friend. On our advisory board is a woman named Dr. Rana Dajani, who actually started We Love Reading in Amman, Jordan. She started it in her home. It grew with other kids coming, and she was teaching their parents how to read to them. She expanded it to the mosque with permission from her husband and the imam. She has since, in the last 15 years, worked with more than 500,000 children in the refugee camps in Sudan, in Palestine, and she's based out of Amman, Jordan. It's been studied by absolutely every single university in the world. They can prove that 2 months of read aloud programs with parents, with caregivers, to children in refugee camps, they can lower their stress level to almost normal. So your friend is 100% correct. There are some programs. I'm happy to work, 30 hours a day, 8 days a week to get and help everybody we can to read. So thank you for your service and your time. Other questions?
How can you extend the offer to local schools here to be a participant of the program or the contest? ¿No se oye?
How can I?
Hola, hola.
We try and spread the word. Dr. Allende has been phenomenal. I mean, from Porvenir in San. Gracias. There's another school where she started. She's recommended to her friends. We actually work directly with the Secretary of Education in Morelos, in Tamaulipas, in Tlaxcala. I have conversations now in Jalisco. We're talking to somebody in Quintana Roo in the Secretary of Education. Any word of mouth. The tournament is free to everybody. What we're hoping, since we have to turn it off at the end of 3 weeks or 4 weeks, is that you guys will be able to help us support, locally, Leobino Zavala, which has 600 or 900 alumnos. So they have the books all year long, right? As I said before, it's it's almost a crime to say, here it is. Oh, sorry, I'm taking it away now. So hopefully we can expand it, but every school is welcome. Absolutely.
Actualmente voy a ir a Santiago Marabatío como subdirectora en próximos días. Santiago Marabatío es un municipio más pequeño de Guanajuato, con aproximadamente 600 alumnos. Y también es mi deseo poder llevar este proyecto a estos chicos. Gracias.
Currently, I'm going to be in another city called Santiago Marabatío, which the amount of people is smaller than Guanajuato, and it's my wish to take this program with me because it will impact around 600 kids.
I have one more question. One more question. I want to give you guys $24 a year. How do I donate $24 a year?
So, on our website, and there was a URL and stuff presented there. There was, I think, a QR code that we couldn't see because of the contrast. 311literacy.org gets you to the website. You can donate there. We use Zephy to take donations, which generates automatically a receipt for you in the United States if you're still paying U.S. taxes, which you probably should be if you're a citizen. Or you don't have to, that's up to you. And then here, what we'll do is hopefully we'll set up a project, again, as I mentioned, with Centro Infantil, where we had actually put together a proposal for another foundation based out of Mexico City. But again, there are 5,000 children in the city of San Miguel, in the Campos, et cetera, that need to be supported. So my hope is that somehow we can support 1,000 kids, but I'm in conversations with 10 other foundations in Mexico City to match that. We're talking to MetLife, we're talking to General Motors, we're talking to United Way, we're talking to, I know, other Rotarian groups as well in León and in the city of Mexico, in Tamaulipas, in Matamoros. So, if you guys start the ball rolling, and that literally is $24. Oh, maybe we got it up to $240, right? It's a flywheel, right? And as you push on the flywheel, it starts to do what? Spin. And then it spins faster and faster and faster. Okay, this is a crisis. If these kids don't learn to read, the jobs in the tiendas and the bodegas, they're not even going to exist. I had a kid tell me, oh, I'm going to just drive a truck. I don't need to read. No. That job is somebody sitting in a terminal and computer driving 16 trucks at the same time. Right. Yes, sir. Well, that's my email address. We have .org as well. So, okay. On 311literacy.org, there is a nice big button that says donate here. Okay. I'm working on it. As I said, 30 hours a day, 8 days a week is my mission. So when I moved here, I wasn't thinking that. It took off. And I'm very, very thankful for the San Miguel community which I live in. Thank you very much.
One more question.
Okay. Just following up on something Jeffrey said about the divisions that are happening between individuals who can read and those who don't learn to read well. It struck me the comment by Yuval Noah Harari, the Israeli philosopher, historian in Sapiens, in his book Sapiens, wrote about this inevitable division between that humanity will divide into two during our lifetimes or in the next generation, between those who can access the technologies that the future economies will depend on and those who cannot. And if children aren't taught to read at a level to be able to run the terminal that's going to run the 16 trucks, humanity will just divide in two. And it's a very grim prospect.
Very good point. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, Anna and Jeff. Here's one mug to show our appreciation. Carla is in the process of grabbing another mug for you, but no, but we have another mug. But wait, yeah, there you go. But see, okay, con everyone, okay, great, wonderful. Oh, there you go. Here you are, Jeff. Gracias.
Que retirar, voy a mi escuela a seguir trabajando. I can go to my school. I need to speak English because I have many friends. Lo bueno que speak Spanish. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you both. Rotary gracias, Ana. Rotary understands how important education is, and education and literacy are one of our 7 areas of focus. And this has also been a very important topic to this Rotary Club, because our very own Ivar, raise your hand, Ivar, helped manage a project we had years ago where we created a mobile library. So this Rotary Club was responsible for creating a mobile library. Ivar was the project team leader. We're very proud of that. And then at one point, the mobile library was turned over to CASA. So now CASA takes our mobile library out into the campo. So it's very, very important. We understand that education is the foundation of success, and literacy is the foundation of education. So thank you so much to Jeff and to Anna for being here today. Very, very important topic, and we hope we can support you.